Well, I start off my day with salah. I mean, I get up and do my salah, do my dhikr. I fast Mondays and Thursdays. I do a lot of things to help me remember who I am as a person of faith. And I think in my work, you know, constantly is this pleasing to Allah? Is this something that's going to help myself, help others? You know, sometimes we have to question ourselves as to what our intention is in doing certain things. Sometimes we might, you know, with the magazine comes a lot of attention, and so it can be very easy to get sidestep from the initial intention of creating a magazine that's going to help Muslim women and is going to portray Islam and Muslim women positively. This is actually one of the reasons why I named the magazine Aziza, because of the classical Arabic meaning of azza, strength, and as well as dearness, and that combination of strength and dearness, I feel, is the epitome of the perfect woman. She knows her strength and she knows her dearness. But I think it's very important when we share our stories, it helps to inspire others because it helps them to realize that they too can accomplish whatever they set their minds to do.
It's America, it's great, beautiful. Other people in the world, they don't have any rain. Absolutely, yeah. Right? Literal meaning of is report. So these are reports of transmission, chain of transmitter.
American Muslim women have a lot of advantages in that they tend to be well-educated and to have access to many resources, economic as well as intellectual resources. Because of that, American Muslim women don't take a back seat to shaping their communities.
We really have this unique position in that we have an academic legacy of critical thinking growing up here in America. This is part of our education. We also have a political legacy, American legacy of freedom of speech, freedom of movement, and we have our Islamic legacy of spiritual agency and autonomy. And I think the blend of those is very powerful.
We want to be involved from all levels, the level of decision-making to our organizations, to representing the communities. And what's quite interesting is that when there are polls done of the general American public, the most negative association there is with Islam is the position of women. Now, understanding that means that many Muslim organizations, mosques and others, have asked the women of their community to step forward and express for themselves, well, what does Islam mean to you? If Muslim women themselves explain the meaning of Islam, then it's harder to refute, or it's harder to project this image that Islam oppresses women.
And we have very few women leaders in our community. I was the first woman who was the national vice president of a national organization. And struggle for us as a women is no less than when women in the Muslim world are having. Here we have, again, the community, again, is very dominated by mostly male leadership.
I mean, CareCan's doing we do a lot of work, and, you know, to have a woman who's a spokesperson for an organization is already a big deal for a lot of people, both inside the Muslim community and outside the Muslim community. So, I mean, many times, you know, I'm solicited based on the fact that I am a woman. In terms of being able to have a stronger presence, it's really to be credible and to be legitimate. And the best way to do that is to be honest. And I find that, you know, organizations that are out in the media that will deny problems that exist amongst us, within the community, are far less credible. And it's difficult for a lot of people because nobody really likes to air the dirty laundry. Nobody really likes to criticize, you know, within and to take a good hard look at what's happening inside the community. But if you are able to do that, you know, and in a very respectful and gentle way begin to correct.
One of the things that we do at the Islamic Society of North America is bring imams to our headquarters and give them practical training. We have many scholars who sit in the mosque and they give beautiful lessons.
So people were really not given any guidance, in a sense. When they asked an imam that, you know, my daughter or my son or my husband is beating me, and, you know, physical abuse and all that, they said, oh, have sabr. Sabr, what is sabr going to do about that? But they offered no solutions.
Whereas 5 years ago, for example, in Montreal, you know, I work with a group called Amal. We would talk to imams about the problems of conjugal violence because it was becoming so severe that we actually had to do something. There was no way you could sit by and watch. 5 years ago, it was a taboo for an imam to say anything in his khutbah about conjugal violence. Now it's almost it's been introduced in halakas and in study circles, in durus, that's not the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. That's what people are doing is not Islamic, and you cannot use Islam to justify the oppression of women.
Many women feel now that rather than isolate themselves or to separate themselves from their communities into women's groups, that they would rather work within their local communities, work within the context that they want to change as women, but with men as well. I mean, in the end, women aren't going to change things by themselves. We need to have our male partners. And this is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran recognizes, that al-mu'minun wal-mu'minat, we have to work together, ba'dahum, or awliya ba'd. We have to work together to change society.
As a mother, as a member of the Muslim community, I also work along with other Muslim women to encourage, empower, promote women and families to get involved in social recreational activities. So for example, we have Muslim women and children's swimming programs and Muslim men and boys swimming programs. We do everything right. We cover the windows. The city actually has put in curtains to cover all the windows at the pool. We hire female-only lifeguards, and we advise women to respect the dress code requirements under Islam. So we're forcing the community to see us doing things very actively in a very positive way, and also, you know, recognizing that we have disabilities. And we also try to teach women to take more control and become more active.